Hello dear students, welcome back again to Chinmoyee's biology channel. Today we are here back with a new episode, that is your fifth lesson, conservation of plants and animals. Okay, so let's get started. So what are today's learning objectives? Today we are going to learn about what is deforestation and what are its causes. We will learn about consequences of deforestation, droughts, how droughts are caused, desertification and conservation of forests and wildlife, right? So in the next episode, we will be studying about biosphere reserve in details, flora and fauna, endemic species. These all in the coming episodes we will be studying about. So to know more regarding this lesson and regarding all the many important things which will be coming on the way, you need to subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned, stay updated with all the episodes which I am posting. So let's get started without further delay. That conservation of plants and animals. So now this is the fifth chapter, conservation of plants and animals. So let's get started. So here they have started with a story-like thing. So we saw in class 7th, right, Paheli and Bojo, they had visited the forest along with Professor Ahmed and Tibu, right? So if you can recall the last year's lesson, you can recall that they have visited a forest. So they were eager to share their experiences with their classmates, that is other children who were in class. They wanted to share their experience, how they visited the Varatpush sanctuary. Some others who have heard about Kaziranga National Park, wildlife sanctuary and Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve and Tiger Reserve, etc. So all started sharing their experiences regarding the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, what they all have visited. So what are these? And while sharing their experiences, they wanted to learn few things from their teacher. So what is the purpose of making national parks? Why wildlife sanctuaries are made and what are biosphere reserves? So these all we will be covering in this lesson only, right? So let's start with deforestation and its causes. So a great variety of plants and animals exist on Earth. They are very much essential for the well-being and survival of mankind. So today, a major threat of survival of these organisms is deforestation, right? So deforestation, we all know what is that? Clearing up of forests. So we are cutting down all the trees, using that land for other purposes. So trees in the forest are cut for some purposes mentioned below. So what are the purposes mainly? First of all, procuring the land for cultivation purposes, building houses or factories, making furniture or using wood as fuel. So there are many other causes as well. Nowadays everywhere you are seeing that metro construction, there are malls and buildings coming up. So everywhere the forest ecosystem is being destroyed very badly. Okay, so for all buildings and all metro construction work also, we are seeing that metro bridges and all are destroying all the forests. Okay, so this is totally we can say that a setback in ecosystem. So our ecosystem is fully getting disturbed. So some natural causes of deforestation are what? Forest fires or several droughts. So these are the natural causes. If there is a sudden forest fire, like there was an Amazon forest fire was there. So like that, if there are natural causes, we can't do anything. But we are destroying it ourselves. So we are making the deforestation mandatory, as we want to construct building, as we want to construct flyovers, malls, metros and all. So it is what is causing destruction. So let us see what are the consequences of deforestation. Now you can add more causes of deforestation to your list. One or two I have already told in this list. So many others you can add up in the list and write in your book or your answer copy. So and classify them into natural and man-made causes, right? So what are the more causes of deforestation, and you can classify them according to the natural and man-made causes. Now what are the consequences of deforestation? Now Paheli and Bujo, they recalled that the consequences of deforestation. First of all, they remembered what they remembered, that the temperature and the pollution level of the earth will increase. It will increase the level of carbon dioxide because the plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide during photosynthesis process. Now another thing, very important thing, is groundwater level is also getting lowered. You are seeing scarcity of water everywhere. Why? Because we are cutting down trees, so the ground level of water is getting lowered, and this is why they know that deforestation disturbs the balance of nature. They were told by Professor Ahmed that if cutting of trees continues, rainfall and fertility of the soil will decrease. So nowadays you have seen that full last year we didn't get proper rainfall, so the rainfall has gradually decreased. Though this year we are getting enough rainfall, but it is actually after a severe long summer we are getting this rainfall, and the fertility of the soil will be retained if we are getting this type of rainfall. Now moreover, there will be increased chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts. So now we can see everywhere there is a situation like flood like situation, as they have there are rain and too much rain, causing that no trees are there, no absorption is there. So trees are what they are doing, they are absorbing the water, so down towards the soil. But as there are no trees, no absorption is there, so the water is fully flowing and flooding areas after areas. So it's causing severe floods. You can see whenever you open the news, you can see that several parts of India as well as several parts of the world are flooded due to this natural disasters. If severe rainfall is there, we are unable to control that situation. Okay, so floods are happening, and when there is no rainfall, droughts are happening. So just recall that plants need carbon dioxide. Just now I told that this carbon dioxide is being absorbed by the plants for photosynthesis. Now fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, resulting in the increased amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. So the trees are absorbing less carbon dioxide, so the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will always be more, and this will lead to global warming as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. So carbon dioxide is one of the main gases which is causing global warming. Okay, so then global warming will be there, and as it is retaining the heat rays reflected by the earth, right? So the increase of temperature of the earth disturbs the water cycle and may reduce the rainfall, and this could cause droughts also, as this water cycle is disturbed, so it may cause droughts also. So deforestation, when it is causing floods as well as it is causing droughts, so the water cycle is getting disturbed, so it may reduce rainfall. So in that case it is causing droughts also. So next we will learn that deforestation is major cause of many things. So what are they? So deforestation is a major cause which leads to change in soil properties as well. So the properties, physical properties of the soil gets affected by the plantation and vegetation. So if you are planting crops, if vegetation is growing on one soil, then the soil properties will be retained. So fewer the trees, they result more in soil erosion. So more trees are there, they are binding the soil with their roots, so no soil erosion is there. So if there are less trees, more soil will blow away with wind, it will flow away with water, so more soil erosion will be there. So removal of the top layer of the soil exposes the lower and the hard rocky layers. Is it clear? So the top layer is the fertile soil layer which is being eroded away. So what we are getting now? We are getting the lower, hard and rocky layers. And this soil has less humus and is less fertile. Now gradually the fertile land gets converted into deserts. So this is called desertification. So first we have seen that it is leading to droughts, it is leading to floods, and it is leading to desertification as well, deforestation. So many bad effects are there for this deforestation. So deforestation also leads to the decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil, as no plants are there, so water holding capacity decrease. So the movement of water from soil surface to ground, that is the infiltration rate, is reduced. So there are floods, just now we have told, and the other properties like soil, the nutrient content, the texture also change because of deforestation. So we have already studied in class 7 that we get many products from forest. List these products. Will we face shortage of these products if we continue cutting trees? This is a very important question. So you should write it in your answer book that if this continuation of deforestation is there, so what all are the products which we will face a shortage of the products? So write in your book. Now, there is a small activity that animal life is also affected by deforestation. How? List the points and discuss them in your class. This is a very nice question to discuss, that animal life is also affected. How it is affected? List the points. You note it down in your rough notebook or any other book in a piece of paper and discuss with your classmates in your class, and just see what your friends are also having different viewpoints, right? So what they view regarding this, you just view this. Now we will move on to how to conserve the wildlife and forest, right? So till now we have seen that deforestation is having so many bad effects. So seeing this bad effects, Paheli and Bujo, they are worried, and they went to Professor Ahmed and asked him how to preserve these forests and wildlife, and that is how to save these forests and wildlife. So there comes the conservation of forest and wildlife. So how to conserve them, right? So biosphere, what is biosphere? First we should know the definition of biosphere. So biosphere is the part of the earth in which the living organisms exist or which supports life. So sphere means, you know, that it is spherical in shape. Our earth is spherical in shape, and bio means anything which is having life in it, right? So what the part of the earth in which the living organisms exist or which supports life. So anything which is supporting life or the living organisms, they are a part of the earth. So that part of the earth is called the biosphere. And what is biological diversity or biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on earth, their interrelationships and their relationship with the environment. So here you are getting two definitions. The first definition is biosphere and the second definition is biological diversity or biodiversity, that refers to the variety of organisms. So there are many organisms of various species, various genus and all existing on the earth, and their interrelationship and their relationship with the environment, right? So now Professor Ahmed, what is he saying? Let us see that. Now Professor Ahmed organizes a visit to the biosphere reserve for Paheli. So they need to see what is a biosphere reserve. Bujo and their classmates, he selects a place named Panchwari Biosphere Reserve. Okay, he knows that plants and animals found here are similar to those of the upper Himalayan peaks and to those belonging to the lower Western Ghats. Okay. Now, here the plants are similar to those of the upper Himalayan peaks as well as those of the lower Western Ghats. So, how Professor Ahmed believes that the biodiversity found here is unique because they are holding plants and animals from the Himalayan peaks as well as from the lower Western Ghats as well. So, he requests Madhavji, a forest employee, to guide the children inside the biosphere reserve. So, there was a person called Madhavji whom he requested. He was a forest employee, right? So, he will work here or represent as a guide and take those children to this biosphere reserve. Okay, so he explains that preserving the areas such as such biological importance makes them a part of our national heritage. So it's a part of our national heritage, right? So it is we are preserving our biological diversity or our biodiversity. Now Madhavji, what he is explaining? Now Madhavji explains to children that apart from our personal efforts, the efforts of the society, government, agencies also take care of the forests and animals. So there are several agencies. Government is also taking care. The government lays down the rules, methods and policies to protect them and conserve them, right? So wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are protected areas for conservation of plants, animals present in that area. So how are they protected? You can't cut any plant here. You can't. There is poaching and killing of animals is restricted or it's banned here because these are reserved places where you are not able to kill the animals for their fur, for their skin, for their we can say for any of their body parts, if you want to take that and sell them. So you can't do animal poaching here. You can't cut trees for your own benefit. These are the reserved parts. So these are maintaining the biological diversity of our planet. Okay, so these are biosphere reserves or wildlife sanctuaries. These are very important for us. Now, let us see the definition of all these. Now, first we have learned what is biosphere, and we have learned what is biodiversity, right, in the first. So, just take those main things and write it in your answer book as definitions. Now, here, what are protected areas? To protect our flora and fauna, we will learn this flora and fauna in the next video, right? So you should subscribe to my channel to know more regarding flora and fauna, because unless you are subscribing, you will not get the update, and if you are not getting the update, you will miss this whenever I am teaching, right? So please quickly subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with all my lessons, right? So to protect our flora and fauna, their habitats, protected areas called wildlife sanctuaries, national parks and biosphere reserves have been earmarked, right? Now plantation, cultivation, grazing, felling of trees, hunting, poaching are prohibited here. Now wildlife sanctuary areas where animals are protected from any disturbance to them and their habitat, right? So what is wildlife sanctuary? Where animals are protected from any disturbance to them. So any disturbance means they are not being killed, they are not being poached, so they are having their own habitat and they are being free from the disturbance. So then comes the national park, so areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use habitats and natural resources, right? So these are national park. So national parks and wildlife sanctuaries are almost similar. So these are also the areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitats and natural resources. This is also similar. Wildlife sanctuary is also similar. What is biosphere reserve? These are large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife as well as plant, animal resources and traditional life of the tribals living in this area. So in biosphere reserves, the animal resources, the plants, the traditional life of the Indian tribals are also protected. So that is a biosphere reserve. Not only animals, not only plants, but the tribals are also preserved here. Right, so is it clear to all of you? So we have discussed about the biosphere, biodiversity, wildlife sanctuary, national park and biosphere reserve. So many important things we have discussed. Now let us see what we are going to see in the next one. Now this activity 5.3 you will do as a homework. So find out the number of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves in your district, state and country. So record in table 5.1. So in your district, if you are having any national park, if you are having any wildlife sanctuary, if you are having any biosphere reserve, so please state that in your state, in your country, wherever you are, from wherever you are seeing my video, just write in your answer book, just write it, and you can always comment in my comment box that from where you are and if you are having any national park, any wildlife sanctuary, any biosphere reserve in your country, in your state, in your district. So this is your homework for today. So for more details, we will be studying in the next video. What we will study there? We will be studying there the biosphere reserve, flora and fauna, the endemic species, wildlife sanctuary in more details. So till then, you need to subscribe to my channel so that you can get my updates whenever I'm posting the next update, next video. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you are liking my channel. So till then, goodbye, and all of you please go through this once before I move on to the next part. Thank you.